Hey everybody, welcome back to another Reality Skewed Gaming session. It's your favoriteest person in the whole world,
What the frick, Ranger? Urban Blaster's the bestest buddy in the whole frickin' galaxy. Don't be stealing his line.
or not, Ranger J 1999, and I'm joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Grande Patron. Grande, say hello to the
What's
folks.
up? Hey guys.
And we are doing something a little bit different. We're going to start doing these little videos. We are going to be, again, reworking my PvP team, and we're going to do it in a video. We did it last time in the stream. Not really so much the place to do that. I'm just thinking.
Maybe not.
You
Yeah.
know, people liked it, but it was a little bit involved and detailed and stuff. So I've got Boba Fett finally to level 11. Now I don't have any gear for him for level 11, but he's got gear 11. And I think it's time that we add him to the PvP roster and just look at some stuff and what we can do. And Grandy is going to help me out since he's a whale and he's on Team Instinct.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the shout out for Team Instinct, but I
See
will
what I
tell
did
you,
there? Yeah,
I,
see?
I did. I saw that, and I am sort of whalish. I think the first thing we need to decide is how you're going to use Boba Fett.
Right.
So I think first what we want to look at is let's look at look at your current arena team,
Let's
and
go
let's
with it.
figure out what we want to do as far as where we want to put Boba.
What's the fastest way to get to my ring team? I'm still early in the morning from
So,
the show.
so the fastest way for you to get your arena team would be just to click your name at the top. So if you click where it says level at from the main screen where it says level 85, it'll show your arena team.
Okay.
That's probably the easiest way.
See what happens. I don't have enough coffee. I need more
So
coffee.
right now you're running Lando lead,
Mm-hmm.
Wedge Biggs, Jedi Knight Anakin, and Stormtrooper Han.
Right.
So we have to figure out who do we take out of this team to that'll probably help us out the most. So let's kind of look a little bit at Boba Fett's abilities, right? So one of the first ones is Boba Fett's not a taunt. We probably want to keep your taunt on the team,
Mm-hmm.
right? But the second one is Boba Fett has an AoE. So potentially we'd want Boba Fett to take the position of one of your AoE type characters.
Mm-hmm.
That means it's Wedge, Lando, or Anakin.
Right.
He also has a dispel,
Mm-hmm.
and he has an ability block.
Right.
So those are so we kind of look at your team and we kind of look at what we got. Potentially,
I say Anakin. What are your thoughts?
potentially Anakin's spot. One of the nice things about Anakin is that Anakin doesn't need a whole lot of speed mods.
Right.
So in some ways you might want to keep Anakin on the team for that. Potentially Lando. Potentially you could move to a Wedge lead.
Okay.
Take Lando off and put Boba Fett in that position.
Okay.
I think we keep the Wedge Biggs combo.
Mm-hmm.
I really think that we like the turn meter gain from Stormtrooper Han, and we want to make sure on defense we want to make sure that you have a taunt.
Right.
So I think we keep him. So I think the other thing too is that potentially your arena team is going to change from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
So potentially you're gonna say, okay, sometimes I want to put Boba Fett on the team, and sometimes I want to put Lando on the team. I personally change my arena team sometimes based on who I'm facing.
Right.
Just me. So given all of that, what are your thoughts then?
I'd say let's get rid of Lando.
Okay.
What'd he just say? Make it rain some blood on this fool.
Now let's look at Boba Fett and let's look at his abilities. So let's go into your characters and let's look at your ye old Boba Fett.
Yo, Bubba.
And let's talk about his abilities.
I do not have that 12 speed because I just don't have the gear farmed for that yet. So
Right. So we know that you're gonna add a little bit onto Boba.
Mm-hmm.
You got 3 more gear pieces that you could put on him. So let's look a little bit at where your Boba stands right now. The first couple of things I want to look at his first ability. So we have the ability, deal physical damage to the target enemy with a 50% chance, doubled against scoundrels, to attack again. Each attack has a 70% chance to inflict damage over time for 2 turns. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Second one is death from above. Deal physical damage to all enemies with an 80% chance to inflict ability block for 1 turn and a 50% chance to inflict damage over time for 2 turns. Ability block the selected target for 2 turns.
Mm-hmm.
That could be nice. Execute. This is the one that we got from the new when we got him reworked probably a month back now. Deal physical damage to the target enemy and dispel all status effects from them. Deal 30% more damage for each effect dispelled. Enemies defeated by this ability cannot be revived. Reduce all cooldowns by 1 on a finishing blow. This attack cannot be evaded. Super sweet ability
It's
there.
amazing.
Right? Then we have his leader ability. So his leader ability is all allies gain 50% critical chance and 10% crit, 50% crit damage and 10% crit chance. Bounty Hunter allies gain 15% speed for each debuffed enemy. Gain max health equal to 50% of the total potency of all Bounty Hunter allies, and gain 15% turn meter whenever a thermal detonator explodes. So
nice.
What's interesting about this ability, let's say you run no other bounty hunters, right?
Mm-hmm.
It says bounty hunter allies gain 15% speed for each debuffed enemy. What that means is that if you run Boba Fett lead, potentially he gains extra speed for debuffs, which is kind of sweet. So what that means is that if you decided to run him lead, he doesn't have to have quite as much speed because he'll gain more speed as he gets along.
Right.
Now let's go over to his unique, which is Bounty Hunter's Resolve. His unique is at the start of the battle, and whenever he defeats an enemy, Boba Fett gains Bounty Hunter's Resolve until his defeat. Bounty Hunter's Resolve. Boba Fett ignores taunts during his turn. When defeated, revive at 100% health. This buff cannot be dispelled. And then, of course, if you have it zetaed, he revives with 100% protection. Potentially, if you're not, this is a very good unique because it has the Zeta ability. There's only about 4, maybe 6 Zetas in total that you can get a unique on, and it's not a leader. So if you use Boba Fett a lot, potentially this would be a good Zeta. I think it's a better Zeta on defense than it is on offense, but it's potentially there as a Zeta. Now, let's look at how you have your Boba Fett modded right now.
I just have just random mods on them. I just put them in there just to have them because I haven't been using them.
Okay, so just random mods. So if I jump over here to your mods, and the first thing I think we want to do is, and this is on swgoh.gg. So if we're going to say that maybe we don't want to take a bunch of mods off of your current arena team, we want to base these mods off of other characters, right? So we want to look at secondary speed on all of your spots, and we want to maybe not mess with your PvP team so much.
Right.
Just because in case it gets screwy, we want to be able to look at another team. So if we look at mods that you've got on now, for example, now he already, Boba Fett starts out with a relatively decent amount of crit, he's got of crit chance and crit damage. So potentially, you could say that you don't need a whole lot of that. Plus, he sort of gives himself a little bit as we go along. So if we look at some of your mods, some of the ones that I kind of look at just to start out with, and you got to remember when he revives with 100% health. So potentially we might want to look at health. You have, when I look at it, you have a protection mod with 9 speed, a triangle protection on Palpatine. You also have a 9 speed defense with crit chance and offense. Both of those mods have huge offense sitting on Resistance Pilot. Okay. So before we move them, I want to kind of see what your thoughts are on that, on potentially on that defense and protection. One of them is a triangle, it's on Palpatine, and the other one is a cross, which is on Resistance Pilot.
Let's take them off.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and
so I'd go ahead and remove those 2 because I think those 2 mods you potentially want on different characters.
So let's go Palpatine first.
Palpatine's triangle.
No, I do on the triangle. I do have. Oh no, I don't have. Okay, never mind.
Unless you have something better that's in inventory,
No,
right?
I don't. So
Okay,
we're going to remove this.
right. So potentially you want to look at that one,
Okay.
and then potentially you want to look at this this 9-speed defense cross that's sitting on resistance pilot.
Okay.
So that takes care of our potentially our cross and potentially our triangle. So now we're looking at let's look at what we might try next. So you got a potency square on Tebow. Not so excited about that one. You have here you go. You have a 5-speed potency on HK. Not so excited about that one. Here's the one I would use. You have that's a tenacity bonus. Let's see. So you have a so let's look at it like this. It is nice to have a little bit of potency on Boba Fett. You have a 5-speed with a ton of protection mod on HK, and then you also have a diamond on IG88. Both of those have 5-speed each. So potentially we want to look at the square from HK47 and the diamond from IG88.
Okay. So this one, we'll remove that.
So now,
And then what was the other one? IG88?
so on IG88, you have a diamond that's on IG88 that has potency on it as well as speed.
Okay.
That one will actually be leveled at some point. So that takes care of your diamond, and that takes care of your square. So now we're down to circles. Circles, circles, circles. Man, we're kind of sucking it a little bit on the circles, aren't we? I would probably take this one. So your best circles are already on your current team. So our choices are a health one. That one has defense and a ton of protection. You have let's look at your I'm either thinking the one that's sitting on Finn or the one that's sitting on Yoda. Excuse me. Let's see what we can do as far as speed primary arrows.
I've got a 30 on him now because I just upgraded the one he has.
Okay, so you have a 30 on him now. That's the that was an offense set though, right? So
Yeah,
potentially we're gonna end up with a mismatch.
We could always switch this with one of the other tunes because it is 30 speed. So
It is 30 speed, but I'm just looking at what you already got. If we were gonna take you might. Wow, that's taking it off Lando. You've got your best mods pretty much on everybody, except for the only one that you potentially have is that one on Jawa Engineer. We've taken a bunch off of your droid team already. I think we're just going to end up with a mismatch set. So let's leave the 30 speed that you've got on him now, realizing it's going to be a mismatch set.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's look at this circle with speed, and then I think we're going to take it off of. I think what we're going to take off is the 5 dot health that's on Yoda right now with 3 speed, and the reason why is because it's got a good amount of crit chance and it has a good amount of protection. So let's take that circle off of Yoda. It's either that one. It's either that one or we take this one off of Finn. You probably use Yoda more than you use Finn, and that one on Finn does have a pretty sick amount of potency. So maybe we take the one off of Finn. You probably don't use him very much.
No.
So let's take that circle off of Finn, I think.
Okay, give me a a second. The game's
Yeah.
loading back up.
Unless you have a better circle in inventory. You know, we didn't really compare any of your
Well, we can
stuff on
look, but I
inventory.
don't think we do. But
Okay.
we'll look. Now, are we trying to make Boba Fett the fastest character to go first?
Well, we're trying to make him relatively fast. I'm not saying he's going to be the fastest, but it's super kind of important that he gets that ability block off.
Right.
And you know, I mean, you know, would we like to have him? The other thing is, I want to take that stuff off, but I don't want to. You know, if we wanted to build him for damage, we'd put crit damage and crit chance sets on him. So we would have a crit damage set, and we'd have but it doesn't look like you have those mods to make those secondary sets, right?
Unless we get on off Lando.
Unless we obliterated some of your other characters,
which I'm okay with, you know,
I
because Lando.
get it, but well, I mean, but I'd like for you to be able to put Lando in if you needed it, right, for the extra speed against somebody. I'd like for you, you know. So we're gonna try to put, you know, we're trying to put some speed on him, we're trying to put some potency on him, and we're trying to put a little bit of health on him. I'll tell you who has a really Smithy D, which, you know, we do a video stream with Smithy on Saturdays. Smithy has a really good video about how to mod your Boba, and he's basically saying, you know, you can do it damage wise, or you could do it, or you could do it for speed and potency, or you can do kind of a hybrid. And effectively, what we've said is, you know, we're doing a little bit of a hybrid set, right?
Right.
On him, where we're doing a little bit of health, we're doing a little bit of potency, and we're trying to give him plenty of speed, right?
Correct.
You know, I mean, is it great? I mean, we'd like to have a potency cross on him potentially. You know, when I look at your mods, if I come in here and I grab a cross and I try to put a potency primary on it and apply filters, we have a potency cross right now. We could steal a potency cross with speed off of Phasma. How often you using Phasma?
Just for Rancor.
Just for Rancor? Potentially. Yeah, you're taking that circle off of him. So potentially, after we remod a little bit, we might look at how do we feel about putting a potency, taking that potency cross off of
Phasma.
Off of Phasma, or off of Tarkin. How often you use Tarkin?
Yeah, not at all.
So then maybe we sacrifice some speed and take it off of Tarkin.
Yeah, we can.
We'll look at it and see.
Okay, so I've removed all the mods you told me to remove so far, so we can go back to.
So we can just go back to Boba, and kind of before we hit confirm, I want to place them all and let's just look at him.
If I can find him.
He should be all the way at the top. Sucker's good now,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, he's getting there. All right, so we're going to manage, and we're going to, let's see, we wanted to keep the speed one on the arrow, so we're going to add this this one right here with the speed, right?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, and then for the diamond, we are adding this level 9.
Correct.
Sign that. And then we're adding this one here. Circle, we're adding the one that has 4 speed. And then we're adding this one here, which has the 9 speed. Okay.
And then what about the diamond? Did you already do the diamond one?
Yeah, I did the diamond one.
So man, let's kind of look at his stats here a little bit. So we've super increased his protection. We've super increased his speed.
Yeah, he's 197.
He's lost some crit damage. He's gained potency, lost tenacity, physical damage went up, crit chance went up. I mean, it's not a bad set. You know, you might, you know, and we basically now have 2 set bonuses.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe we try it like this and see, and then if you really decide that you want to, it's hard to sacrifice 9 speed for that 24 potency.
No,
I mean, it's a lot.
It's not worth it.
There's a lot, you know. I think let's play with it and see how you like it like that. I'd probably upgrade that. I'd probably upgrade some of those to 15.
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
And remember, we don't want to make people's heart hurt by you busting it on.
I did on the last one. I stopped and did it individually.
Yeah, that makes Ewokin's heart hurt. He says a little piece of me dies whenever I see Ranger do it like that. Oh man. The one I'm interested about is that and that one did not gain that one. What did that one gain? That diamond when we did that? What was its last ability? It gained tenacity. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we have to decide: are you going to run Wedge lead or are you going to run Boba Fett lead?
Well, let's talk about it. What would be the best bet?
So one of the things that's cool is on crit with Wedge, you gain some health.
Yeah.
Which can be super sweet for a character that has an AOE that's about to die, and you save that AOE until that particular character is almost dead. Then you run the AOE with them, and they get all their health back. I know that for example, you know, with if you swap Wedge and Lando, for example, you can have an almost dead Lando, have him AOE, get all those crits, and then all of a sudden he's back to almost 100% health or 100% health, which could be super sweet. So I think you're gonna have to play around with that on whether or not you use the Wedge lead or whether you use the.
All right.
And so excuse me, I've gone in with the Boba Fett lead because I wanted that extra crit chance and the extra crit damage. And we're maybe a little bit short on crit damage, so maybe we do look at running a Boba Fett lead for that reason.
Okay.
I think you base it on the team, right? You know what your team's going to do, and so you modify your leader based on that. The thing is that you have a lot of leads to choose from now.
Right.
You have Lando lead that you can still use. You have Wedge lead that you could still use, and you have Boba Fett lead now that you can use. All of those are great choices.
All right. So we've got all his mods set up. So let's
Sweet.
see.
Play some PvP.
Let's do some PvP. See how it goes. We may have to go back and rethink this, but we'll do it. All right. If it'll load. I don't know what's going on with Kale Player, ladies. I'm going slow.
Load, baby, load, baby.
All right, we've got a Sunfac.
Let's look for an easy win, right?
Don't think there's such a thing. We can do 16. It's a team I was running.
That is the team you were running. So let's try it and see. I'd run that team.
Okay.
And then I'd say let's run it once with Boba Fett lead because we just fixed him. And then if that doesn't work, then let's change to Wedge lead and see how you like it.
Okay. So let's do that. My lovely missus came in and was like, hey. I was like, oh, hey.
All right.
Ew.
Yeah. Hold on. The first thing you want to do is you want to ability block
Han if it'll hit.
If it'll hit.
Nope.
No hitty. Then you want to taunt with yours. Luckily, you're still fast. Now, this is where you could ability block everybody with Boba Fett. Nice. And it worked. So now you have an ability block. Now you have it AoE with Wedge. There you go. And then I'd probably look at his Anakin's not hitting super hard, which is kind of cool. You could go for his Wedge for sure. That would be a
Should
good
I AoE with Anakin here?
I would not. I'd save that Anakin AoE.
See if we can. Well, Han's ability blocked.
So I'd go for Wedge. I think Wedge is your big damage dealer, and he's getting ready to hit his AoE. You could now here you go. This could be interesting. You could potentially execute Wedge because if you hit the execute button, he's already got 2 dispels, so he's going to do extra damage because of those 2. If you wanted to risk it, you could risk it. Bam. Yes. Now you're gonna hit this, and that's okay. Now, who's
AOE with because I just lost a character, so I'm gonna use my
okay?
AOE with Anakin.
Now, hold on. You could use your AOE, or he's got a double. He's got a double. You could AOE with that. That would probably work out pretty good. You
Yeah.
try that.
Want to finish off who, Anakin or Lando? I probably need to do Lando.
Well,
That'll make Anakin go again.
Well, finish off Anakin, I would say, or at least go for Anakin.
Because Lando's ability block.
Exactly,
so he's just
he's
do a
ability
single
block.
shot. That's right. And we're gonna get rid of. So,
now you can hit probably hit Lando and get rid of Lando.
Yeah.
Because Stormtrooper Han's still ability blocked. Now you could do a double tap. That should double tap. Let's see if it'll double tap.
Didn't.
That's all right though. But now you can hit him and he'll die.
Nope, he dodged.
Oh my gosh. You could execute again. You could execute. It'll refresh all of his stuff. There you go. You got it. And now it's an auto win.
Yeah.
Nice, huh?
Yeah. Now I'm wondering, we need to face a better team to see how it goes.
You could. I mean, we could. I mean, that was not a terribly awesome.
Okay, dudes, as you can see, we're going to be seeing Ranger J versus Voodoo for the 16th spot in the PvP. But let's do this shit. Okay, here we are. Bam! They got the first move off and annihilated that frickin' Biggs. Took away Ranger's three triple mollywop. There goes Anakin. Didn't get that to stick. And we got a taunter on Ranger J's side. AoEs from Boba Fett taking away their abilities. Jetpack in there. AoEs from Wedge and Tilly's. Bam! Did you see all that yellow? Oh, that Han could take a hit. Ranger J's looking good still. 4 versus 5. Okay, what next? Make a move, Ranger. Here we go. Oh, took away those abilities from, who is that out there? Wedge and Tilly's. Okay, what next? The anticipation's building up. Let's see what a frickin' Ranger does. He could go with the basic, which could have a bonus attack, or a frickin' execute. Knock the red off their head. Bam! 17,000. Uh-oh. 3 versus 4. What you gonna do, Ranger? Bam! AoE's taking away their enemies. Oh, that was weak, Annie, from Voodoo. It's looking a little better for Ranger J. They got a lot of yellow above their heads, and Ranger got all the green on over his head. Bam! One shot right there. Oh! 2 versus 3. Lando's not looking too good though. Bam! 13,000 right there. Lando got knocked the frick out. Oh, he didn't get the bonus. And he got a dodge out there. Frick. Looking a little grim. Bam! Got that execute. 2-on-1. Whittle him down to nothing. And they'll autoplay this shit because they ain't got time for this shit. Victory! The arena match you just saw was presented by Boba Fett's Boba Tea. It's 100% genetically modified and cloned on Camino. It's 100% all natural preservatives. And it's 100% wizard, so go out there and get you some of Boba Fett's Boba Tea.
So we've got Fett speed at 197.
That's a pretty decent speed. I
It
mean,
is, but
your Boba Fett is faster than my Boba Fett.
yeah,
Let's,
but do we want him to where he goes first? Because being able to ability block everybody and dispel, it's pretty damn nice.
it's really damn nice. What's nice is that if your Boba, what needs to happen is your Boba Fett just needs to be faster than their ST Han,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know that against droid teams, you're never going to get him faster than our
No.
engineer, right? And so effectively, you just have to look at which character do you really want to ability block. The thing is that if you go against the team with an auto block, with an auto taunt, it almost doesn't matter. You're only going to get to ability block for one turn anyway. So, so you know, you're going to potentially not even use that particular.
Well, it
That particular,
dispels too, doesn't it?
no. He only dispels on execute. He
Oh,
doesn't.
that's right.
He doesn't dispel on that AOE.
That's right.
So,
I'm
so
getting my
you're
things confused.
if you run it up against an auto taunt, whether that's a shore trooper or a base, you know, you're going to potentially use execute first. The challenge with that is that execute won't kill on that shot, and since it won't kill on that shot, you're gonna, you know, that means it's on cooldown. The cool thing about how we did it there is we killed Wedge, and then we had the ability to use it again for bigs, which was super nice. So knowing the abilities and knowing the cooldowns is really important with your characters, because you can do a much better job if you'll realize, oh heck, if I use this here and it works, I get to use it again the next turn.
Right. I just want to look at what Lando has on him.
Your Lando has some pretty sweet mods, you know, and we didn't change them on purpose. And the reason why I didn't change them on purpose was because I was like, okay, I don't want to, you know, we're running some crit damage, some crit chance on him, running a crit damage triangle on him, and then we're running a crit chance set and then some health sets, and we got speed on every spot. The reason why I wanted to leave it like that is if you get frustrated, I want you to be able to do that. The other thing is we want your best mods on the characters you actually use. You could use Lando again in GW. You could use Lando again in like phase 4 of an HAAT.
Right.
You could use Lando again in tournaments, right?
Right.
And so stealing mods is, I don't like doing it because it feels like it's wasting credits.
Right.
And so we want Lando to be one of your better characters.
That's
You've
true.
also spent a lot of time on Lando. You've got Lando one gear piece from being maxed out.
Right.
I don't want to steal from Peter to pay Paul on your mods.
That's right.
I'd rather you work on getting better mods, leaving him relative. In a perfect world, we'd have that same circle on him. We'd have that same arrow on Lando, and then we'd end up building a crit damage set and sticking a crit damage set on him to go with him.
Okay,
But we don't have that. It's never a perfect world. So we kind of leave him where he's at.
Now, do we want crit? We want crit chance mods, right, for him?
We would, in a
Crit
perfect
damage.
world, we'd like crit damage and a crit chance set on Lando.
Okay.
But we'd want all crit damage that had crit chance secondaries.
Right.
But we may not get that. We
want to farm it.
Yeah, well, and it's going to take a long time to farm those. And since Lando is already pretty good, if you got amazing mods, we might even put him on a different character.
That's
true. We'd want you to have some amazing mods on a, you know, if we think about the AAT for a minute, right? And we think about how do you get 4 teams that work. We're going to want you to end up with a Jedi team that works out real well. We want you to end up with a droid team that works out real well. We want you to end up with an Empire team that works real well,
right,
and then a Rebel team that works real well. It's 4 teams,
yeah.
4 teams with amazing mods. Well, if that's the case, then that means we can't always continue to steal mods. And we stole some mods. We stole some mods from your Jedi team when we took them off of Yoda. We stole some mods from we stole a bunch of mods. I think I robbed 3 or 4 mods from your droid team. So that means that those are the mods that we want to do, which that means that to get your droid team back up, we want to do crit chance. and crit damage again. And then for Yoda doesn't really do a whole lot of crit damage and crit chance.
Mm-mm.
We probably want more potency and more speed on Yoda, for example.
Right.
Because we'd like for him to get the ability to remove turn meter on his special, and then Yoda's already super fast, and whenever you have a super fast character like Yoda, putting more speed on him means that he goes even faster because the speed set bonus is a percentage add. It's like 10% add to speed if you put a 5 dot level 15 speed set on him. So Yoda would be a good choice for a speed set with the right secondaries, of course.
Will be a potency.
And potency, potentially. Another one that's really good for Yoda is tenacity.
Yeah.
You really don't want or a health set. Yoda's lacking a little bit in the health category. He tends to get busted down real quick on health. So health sets could be good for Yoda. I mean, I know this video is effectively about Boba Fett, but when you move mods, you have to start thinking, okay, I moved a mod. Now, what mod would I want to put back on that character? So,
right.
who are you gonna go up against whenever this thing resets?
What do you think? What do you think? Let me see if I can get what's the highest I can get? Can I get 11? I think 12 might be the highest.
I think 12 might be the highest. So that
Short
dude,
Trooper with their own Boba Fett and B2.
So that Short Trooper is going to do a little bit. What's nice is that you took Lando off the team. Since you took Lando off the team, that means that crit immunity from Short Trooper is not going to be the biggest threat in the world.
Right.
This dude's Boba Fett is going to be pretty tight. Believe it or not, that guy at 15 is probably going to be relatively easy. Before we hit this team, the three big deals on this Eric team we need to look at is what's the speed on his Boba Fett, and then what's the speed on his Wedge Biggs.
Boba Fett, let's see, his stats are.
He's got mods off his character, so
187.
So you can beat him there. Now let's go look at his Wedge and Biggs for a minute. What's his big speed? He's got a speed set, so this sucker's going to be fast. Plus, he's probably pushing
189, still slower.
Still slower. And then let's just go look at his Wedge, just to look at his Wedge. Missing mods again. That's okay.
165.
You can probably beat this team, and now that you're running a Dispeller in Boba Fett, it means that whenever it's Boba Fett's turn, you're probably going to use Execute on. You're going to want to use Execute, and then you're going to want to use Anakin to put that buff immunity on Shore Trooper, so then you can go after his number one AOE damage dealer, which is Wedge. This team, whenever you want to kill it, I think that this team's kill order is Wedge, Boba Fett, and then you have some options as far as whether it's B2 or Biggs next, and then Shore Trooper last.
Okay, let's do it. Going in. Dun 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 dun. There's a trap, say man. All right, so we should be going first, unless I misjudged. I misjudged. How did his? Oh,
because he's got Wedge Biggs on the team. It's all right.
So just do Anakin's basic.
It'll give you the ability. Potentially, it'll give you an ability block. Let's try it and see.
Yes,
it did. Now just do the single on this one. Now taunt. That'll work. Boba Fett Execute. Now you're back. Now you're on Wedge full time.
Relentless Barrage, but we're on.
Yeah, we knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, we're going on Wedge. Bye bye Wedge. Oh, I don't have Biggs or my Wedge because.
That's okay. That's okay. Let's see how this turns out. You get another chance with Biggs. Now what I would do is the next time it's Boba Fett's turn, I'd do his AoE.
like they just did on me.
Yeah, like they just did on you.
Mm-hmm.
You, oh, man. So now you're back over here for the ability block. Didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
This one may be a little bit tougher. You AoE it. It's fine. Let's see what happens. We got a little bit of bad RNG on that sucker because he took out your wedge right away. It would have been nice if he had hit like ST Han or something. Mm. Yeah, we're not looking real hot. What's nice is Boba Fett comes back.
Mm-hmm. And we should do what, AoE?
I'd actually double tap on this one. The reason why is
Again,
because
it's not up. Oh, you mean just regular attack?
yeah, I do probably a regular attack on this one. I think because you'll kill. Actually, do the AoE. It's
I
alright.
did the double tap. It didn't.
It's alright.
It's
Oh,
dead.
yes, it did. Now you got your Boba Fett back. So where if they hit him again, now let's go back on Wedge.
Oh, God.
AoE that sucker. Let's see what happens. We're gonna activate B2, which is fine because we don't have any. Now let's go. Let's probably go after his B2 or go after his Boba Fett. Which one?
B2. Bye bye, Anakin.
Yeah, bye bye, Anakin. But Boba Fett comes back.
AoE?
Sure, why not?
Now they're all ability blocked.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm definitely going to taunt with Han.
Totally agree.
Let's go after
B2. I'd probably stay. You could probably
double
stay
tap.
on B2. I'd probably stay on B2 for a little bit. Let's see if you can get B2 out of the picture. At least while everybody's double.
Oh, I forgot Bubba can.
Boba can't revive anymore. Hold on. I tell you what. Go for an execute against his Boba. Let's see if that's gonna work.
Won't he come back though?
No, not execute versus execute means that he doesn't come back if it works.
Damn.
No, it almost worked. Oh, that was so close. That was so close. He's gonna come back again,
but there's no, because I knew that was gonna happen.
Oh, I was so wanting yours to win, but it didn't happen. Oh well, it's all right. You're still playing around with a new team and learning new abilities, so that'll happen every once in a while.
You just auto because I'm not gonna win.
Oh, it's Stormtrooper Han back for the win, right? He's gonna somehow.
No, he's done.
Oh man, that would have been awesome if he had come back to win that one.
Yeah, RG kind of got us in the beginning there, but we were competitive. I mean, it could have, if we hadn't lost Biggs right off, Wedge right off the back, that made a huge difference. Not much you can do.
Not much you can do.
Okay, dudes. Next matchup, it's frickin' Ranger J versus Eric going for the number 12 spot in the frickin' arena. It's Biggs and Wedge versus Biggs Wedge, and then there's a little Orphan Annie and a frickin' Eric got the jump and knocked Wedge the frick out. Anakin's gonna go in for an attack. Bam! Got the buffs out there. They go with the basic and frickin' put a little hurt in St. Han just taunted. It went at something like this. Bam! 17,000 knocked that green off his head. Oh, it's a barrage of stuff. They made it rain blood on you, man. Okay, got the double hit out there, the double mollywop. Bam, almost took Wedge out with that one. Uh-oh, AoE's jetpacking from the enemies. Ability blocks all around against Ranger. Then that frickin' oh, they lost the Biggs. AoEs from Anakin. Okay, it's not looking too good for Team Ranger. Bam! Knocked that green right off of Anakin's head. No frickin' it's just not looking too good out there for Ranger. Oh, they're hitting that Boba Fett pretty good. But he could take a hit. And he got that man, the bounty hunter's resolve. Anakin knocked Short Trooper for a loop right there. What to do? What's Ranger gonna pull out of his hat this time? Let's see. The anticipation's building up. Oh, he goes with the basic and gets the bonus attack. Knocks the dude out. Okay. AoEs from Anakin. Taking out his enemies. B2, he's out there hitting hard as usual. They're putting a hurting on B2 out there. Oh, there goes little Orphan Annie. 2-on-3. Could they pull it out? Here comes that bounty hunter's resolve. AoE's taking away their abilities. Bam! All around. Jetpacking. St. Hans taunting out there. Going for the basic. Didn't get that bonus attack. Okay, what to do? Basic or the frickin' execute? Bam! Oh, 16,000. Frick. They should have saved that kill for Boba Fett, but he probably wouldn't have got his turn meters up. Looks like Eric's gonna pull this win out. But you know, Ranger, he put up a good fight out there. St. Hans taking some hits. Maybe he'll pull it off. I doubt it, but you know, you never know. Bam! Defeated. That's one for the history books.